Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 4 of the best of 30 days of sketches with Christy's beautiful life. And today's sketch is brought to us by Susan Stringfellow from Sketch Savvy. And here it is a little bit clearer. There is one 4x6 picture, a bunch of little strips, and what looks like some stitching, some layers with that picture, a circular element, and some embellishments. And so I love this sketch because I love using scraps. And that is my plan for 2022 is to use scraps on every layout. And that is all I use except for the base page on this layout. So I have 2 different pictures. This is my daughter's birthday. Oh, sorry for the glare. And this is a picture of a sunrise over my son's elementary school back when he was still in elementary school. And I love both of these pictures. I thought they were perfect. They're both horizontal. So I knew that they would work with this picture, with the sketch. And so I decided to use Vicki Boutin's color study. I haven't decided at this point what picture I was going to scrapbook, but I figured I would look at the scraps I have and determine what was better suited for what I have. So I have these 3 different sets of Vicki Boutin thickers, or 2 of them are thickers, 1 of them are stickers. And then I have quite a few loose papers, this acetate, which I am not using today, and this color study project pad, which still has quite a few papers. And then this right here is my scraps. And this is what my plan is to use these. All these scraps over here on the right side are my branding strips, which shows you how many papers I've used for this collection already. So I have my papers, my ephemera, my pictures, and this awesome sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I lay out all of the branding strips that I have, and those solid ones are predominantly from the project pad. So if they have the little hole in the middle from they are from the project pad. The other ones are from loose pages, and after I get them all laid down, I determine that between what I have here, the best option is going to be to use this lovely picture of the sunrise over my son's elementary school. And so I also pulled a few other scraps that aren't just branding strips, that are just little strips that are leftovers that are sitting there kind of piled with the branding strips. And so now I'm going through the project pad trying to figure out what I can use, and I just glanced at the cut aparts to see if there's anything in there. And I really kind of wanted a darker background because of that dark on the bottom, because I knew I could layer up some light colors to lighten up this picture. At least the bottom part of the picture. The rest of the picture is bright and shiny. So I end up picking this awesome purple watercolor looking paper, and I trim it down just by 1/4 inch on the top and the side, so that A, I'm getting rid of that perforation from pulling it out of the pad, and B, I get to mat it on this solid black. It's not really cardstock. It's like a thin black paper. And so it gives it a little bit more control, and it keeps it all together. And I really do enjoy matting my layouts. I don't always do it, but I do like the look of it almost every time. I think a layout looks better that way. So I decide, because the darkness on the bottom, I'm going to start with a light colored layer and then move to dark and light and kind of alternate. And there are 4 layers I can tell on this sketch. I do bring in a 5th one just as a thin border, and they're not all full layers. One of them is a partial, and actually 2 of them, but I end up making only one a partial. So I start with this 6x8 project pad paper, or the 6x8 paper, and mat it, and then I mat it on a very thin black line, and then I cut this piece of this floral and white because it's pinks and purples and oranges, which are in my picture, and so it's the colors I really wanted to focus on. And look, I just put, I don't know if you caught that, I matted the picture the wrong direction, and so because right there my picture's upside down. Lord, you all, it has been a crazy day. I think this is video number 3 or 4, and I realized that it needed to get done by a certain due date. So anyway, so after I get that matted, I want the next one to be a full matte. So I picked this purpley blue color, and I really love this paper. And I love the back of this paper, but, you know, it's really hard for me because Vicki Boutin makes these gorgeous paper. Well, she's not the only one, but her papers are just stunning. And I think the back of that one is like this teal color, which is my favorite color ever. But anyway, so this is the layer that on the sketch is not a full layer where I'm putting this on the floral. It is actually doesn't come all the way over to the right, but because I have that dark purpley color, it's not going to stand out against the purple background if I don't matte it on a lighter shade. So I went ahead and full matte it on that floral, which, like I said, has the oranges, the purple, or the purpley color, the pinks. You can see some of the green, which is fine. I have no issues with that. It's going to come in a couple of the strips on the side anyway. So I take an 11-inch strip of double-sided tape, like this Terran tape, and I just put that down right in the area where I'm going to put my strips. That way I'm not having to tape every single one of them. It's tacked down in the middle. If I really wanted to, I could have put a thicker piece of double-sided tape, but I just put down this strip down the middle. And so I just start at the bottom and work my way up. I don't want any of the same ones touching, but I don't mind if it is, you know, up further in the lineup. So I'm going to skip through so you don't have to see me put them all down. They are not all the same size. Quite a few of them are because they're the branding strips, but I cut a few down a little and some are a little thicker. There are some repeats of patterns and colors, but I'm okay with that. I just didn't want them right next to each other. So I get that all the way up to the top of that tape, and I love the way this is looking. I feel like the colors really bring out the color from the picture, and other than the purpley colors, which are really more, well, they're in the sunrise as well. This is one of my favorite views. I used to walk my son up to school. I'm inking the outside, by the way, with some black soot by Tim Holtz. And I used to walk my son to school every day when he was in elementary school. We'd park at the bottom of the hill and walk up. And every day there was always just this gorgeous view right above his school. And you can't really see the building in this picture. It's in that dark spot. But I've probably taken, I don't know, 20 to 30 pictures from sunrises and just neat things. And a lot of times you can see the school building in the background, but not in this one. It's pretty dark. So I've pulled this Yes Please because in the sketch there is a circle that's tucked in under the picture, and I do love that. But I decided that I was going to put it on the top since, like I said, you can't see the school really. It's not really covering anything over. I tried a few different things. I end up loving this acetate piece that has the color wheel. I tried this floral, but it just doesn't fit at all. And it brings in a bunch of colors that I didn't really want on the layout. So the color wheel has the green and the yellow, which I've not really brought in much, but I'm mostly covered up because I put that down a little further in more of the orange, pink, red, and purples, and a little bit of the blue are more exposed than the green and yellow. So, and I really do love that. And because I'm covering that middle section with that that ephemera from the collection, you can put tape behind that on that acetate, and so it doesn't show through. Yay! That's always a trick. So this is a little sticker from one of the sticker pads, and I thought I'd get that on there because it's pink and orange, which is, you know, the colors in this picture, but I just couldn't find a good place for it. I'm sure that I could have just tucked it anywhere and it would have been fine, but it just didn't seem to fit anywhere, so I just put it back on the sticker sheet, and I will use it another time. It's like a little spill or paint splatter. So I get my little acetate piece out, and I just put the stickers from the sticker sets that I liked from the Vicki Boutin sticker sheet. I pull this little black word phrase that just says note to self From the Hello Friend, I pull the number 1 and the number 9 in a black with some silver. And then from the Escape the Ordinary, I pull this pink little border strip, but it's chipboard. And I am going to tack that down, and then I decide I want to put this note to self on here first. So I put that up at the top. There's a little extra glue on there, so I put it on the back of that chipboard. And I just tuck it over where I put this tab, and I plan on putting the date there. So I looked at it to make sure it was even. I wanted to make sure the pink was still visible, so I mostly just covered some of that brown. And then I put some of my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive on the back of this and the scallopy bit. And I tried that out in a few different places, but I really liked it best right here. It adds just another little layer and another little something for the picture to be sitting on. And then, like I said, the only other thing I pulled off of here was a 1 and a 9 from the Hello Friend. And because that's the year this is, it's 2019. I have to remind myself of that because I'm scrapbooking current and everything. Okay, you see what I'm doing right here? Do you know why I have to go pull my sheet out? Because I forgot to write the date from the back of the picture on my little notepad, like I keep telling you all to do as my little tip for the day, and I did not do it today. So I had to pull out my little list, which is luckily I have behind me. If I didn't have that, I had to go pull it up off Shutterfly and hunt down what date this was taken. Ay, ay, ay. So I just made a note that this is the sunrise over my kiddo's school. And like I said, I put the date on that little tab at the top. And so then I'm going to look at it, and I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do. And I pull out my enamel dots or enamel shapes because I actually use some hearts first. And from the Dear Lizzie collection, I pull this little heart, and then there's a matching little dot. And so, or a little circle, and I put that up at the top, so it's bringing that exact same color up to the top, and it really matches the colors that are in this layout, even though it's not from the same collection. And then I just get some of my Paper Studio hearts and add those on there, and then some of the enamel dots as well, in purple, light pink, and like a mauve pink. And so then it looks like there's some stitching on here, and I was not stitching. So I decided that I would faux stitch, and I got my Creative Memories marker out and used my ruler and just made faux stitches up one side and then down the other. And it's very similar to what the sketch looks like. I loved the look of it. I thought it was really cool. So I decided that I would pretty much stick with the sketch on that. And then I tried to decide if I wanted to add anything else, and I didn't. So I'm going to show you the close-up of the sketch by Susan Stringfellow for Sketch Savvy. And then I will show you the up-close, slow-down version of my layout. I hope you all enjoyed this and maybe gained a little bit of insight to, or a little tip, write the dates or the information from the back of your picture. That's my tip for the day. Another great way to use up branding strips and little bits and pieces that are left from your collection that you cannot part with. So I hope that you all will go down below in the description and follow along with the hop for the best of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. There are tons and tons of people who are following along daily or however often they want. So I hope you'll check them out and come back and see me again tomorrow for day 5. Have a fantastic day and make sure to love the ones you love, and happy scrapping.